Spread your feet on the sunny side of the street. Thanks for coming. This is our first time here doing our old time radio show. Thank you so much for coming out. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a blast.
What a cute audience.
Did y'all get a program? And there should be words in it for we're going to lead a sing along. So we hope you're along. It'll be fun. Rob Everett, and here comes Nellie Craven. Oh no, we have one more. We have, but wait, there's more. There's more. Oh, technical. There we go. Now you know this one.
My name is Nellie Craven. I'm the Artistic Director of Silver Moon Theater, and it gives me tremendous joy to work with Patrick Odenthal and the wonderful staff at the Quail Inn to bring you these old-time radio shows. We've had so much fun with them. What we're going to do is we're going to show you two short Jack Benny scripts. They're only about 25 minutes long. And then in between we'll have a couple of songs and a little bit of trivia. And then we'll be done. And these are, you could see in your program, these are scripts from 1942 and 1950-something. And it's very interesting that Jack Benny always called his show was always called in the sponsor's name. It was the Jell-O program starring Jack Benny, or the Grape Nuts Flakes program starring Jack Benny. Never his own name until he went on to TV. Anyway, thank you so much to Ann Peterson and to Rob Everett for singing. And now, oh, I know what it is. It's been in my mind for a long time. There's some song about beer. I think it's beer. And it starts, roll out Yes. Okay, we're gonna give that one a try. All right. Levitate this roof. Come on, one more time, okay? Roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel. We got the blues on the run. Sing Boom Torero. We have a song of the cheer. Now it's time to roll.
The Grape Nuts Flakes program, the first radio program to come to you from Williams Field near Tempe, Arizona, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson. You know, friends, the other night I saw a movie about a young man as rich and distinctive as, well, as the rich, distinctive flavor of Grape Nuts Flakes. And he had a young girl as truly appealing as, well, as an appealing bowl full of Grape Nuts Flakes. And when they got married, they lived as happily as, well, as happily as folks who have that grand tasting Grape Nuts Flakes at breakfast every morning. Well, friends, the moral of the story is just this. You'll find morning rich, sweet as a nut, Grape Nuts a delicious breakfast treat. Let Grape Nuts Flakes bring you your Grape Nuts flavor in the form of delicate, toasty brown flakes. A flavor that's utterly distinctive because it's a new grain blend of sun-ripened wheat and malted barley, toasted golden brown and crisp. So for a good-tasting, delicious breakfast treat, ask for Grape Nuts Flakes in the thrifty 12-ounce package. That was In the Mood, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Williams Field near Tempe, Arizona, we bring you a man who, after a week under the blazing Arizona sun, no longer looks like a frog's belly in the moonlight, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Frog's belly in the moonlight. Jell-O again. I mean, Grape Nuts Flakes again. This is Jack Benny speaking. And Don, although you put it rather crudely, there's no question about it. I do look much better with my desert tan.
Yes, Jack, you certainly do.
Well, why not? I'm outdoors all the time. Horseback riding, swimming. I tell you, Don, I feel like $1 million. Well, I mean... 25,000. You can't feel like $1 million. You know, Don, this Arizona sunshine seems to have done you a lot of good, too.
Oh, it has, Jack. Every afternoon I've been taking a sun bath up on the roof of my hotel.
You take sun baths on the roof. That's a little dangerous, isn't it?
What do you mean, dangerous?
Well, there are a lot of planes flying around here. From 10,000 feet, you must look like a landing field. Really, I'm not kidding.
Oh, now be reasonable, Jack. From 10,000 feet, I look like an ant.
Well, it must be that fat aunt of yours who lives in Denver. I know a landing field when I see one. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Well, get a load of you. What a tan you've got.
Haven't I, though? Yes, Mary, I look just like those toasty brown Grape Nuts Flakes.
Yeah, but you're still shaped like Jell-O.
I do not. I'm the picture of health. Gosh, I've been outdoors all week.
Well, why didn't you get a room?
Oh, I've got a room. I'm living at the Arizona Biltmore. And what a ritzy place that is.
The Arizona Biltmore isn't even built yet.
All
And
right.
it's not even open yet.
All right, so I have to make my own bed. A little bending over isn't going to hurt, but the hotel is lovely. You kids will have to come out and visit me.
I'd love to, Jack. What room are you in?
Oh, you can't miss it. It's the one with the boards knocked off the window. But do come over.
Imagine moving into a hotel that isn't even open yet. That's the cheapest thing.
All right, forget it. Where are you living?
I'm at the Westward Ho, and it's one of the most beautiful hotels in Phoenix.
It is, eh?
But you wouldn't like it. It's got maids and bellboys and telephone and everything.
Yeah, you're right. I'd rather rough it at the Biltmore. Yeah, that's me.
Tell me, Mary, have you been having a lot of fun this week in Phoenix?
Soldiers and cowboys, how could I miss?
You're always thinking of men. What's the matter with you?
Perfectly normal. Look at us.
I don't mean that.
Hey, Jackson, ain't it wonderful here in Arizona? There ain't nothing like these wide open spaces.
Oh, hello, Phil. Yes. And isn't the climate, it's so grand.
Yeah, this air's the nuts. That's because there's very little humidity.
Who what?
Humidity, stupid. That means no moisture.
I know what it means. I also know how to pronounce it, but I'll be darned if I'll tell you. Say, where are you living, Melonhead? Yes, sir, I added that in. No kidding, Phil. Where are you staying?
I'm staying at a beautiful place. It's called the Camelback Inn.
You're at the Camelback, huh? Having a good time?
Well, I've gone without water for 7 days.
Yeah, well, that's typical of you, Phil. You come to a beautiful place like this and you don't get any rest at all.
What are you talking about? I'm under the bed every night by 10 o'clock.
Phil, I'd like to ask why you don't sleep on top of the bed, but I know your orchestra's there. By the way, you and your boys came all the way from Hollywood on the Santa Fe bus, didn't you?
Well, all but my guitar player. He bought a new pair of shoes and he wanted to break them in.
Oh my goodness, now I've heard everything.
Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song tonight.
Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello. Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song.
What did you say?
I was wondering if I could dedicate my song.
How do you feel out here in the desert?
Oh, fine.
Good.
I had a slight case of cactus in my feet, but it's all out now.
Well, there's a lot of it going around. I know about that.
Jack backed into a cactus the other night.
Never mind.
And he had to take his pants off with a pair of tweezers.
All right.
Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song tonight to a girlfriend of mine. I'm singing Mersey Dotes.
Is that your girlfriend's name, Mersey Dotes?
No, Chiquita Miranda.
Well, what's the connection between Mersey Dotes and Chiquita Miranda?
Well, she can Chiquita more than any girl I've ever known.
Dennis, you better get a big hat. The sun here is taking advantage of you.
All right. Mersey Dotes and nosy dotes and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Mersey Dotes and nosy dotes and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? If the words sound queer and funny to your ear, a little bit loony and like, sing Mersey Dotes and nosy dotes and little lambsy ivy. Mersey Dotes and nosy dotes and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you?
That was Mersey Dotes, sung by Dennis Day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement to make. last Monday afternoon, Jack Benny went to an official automobile graveyard in Los Angeles and contributed his famous Maxwell to the junk salvage drive.
Yep, little Maxie is going to do her bit in the war effort.
So at this time, folks, we would like to reenact for you all that took place on that historic occasion.
Oh, well, gosh, did I make history?
Why, certainly. They want to take Paul Revere out of the school books and put you in.
Oh, stop. I know better than that.
Jack felt that his whole radio gang should be present to take a farewell ride in his old jalopy, so he told us to be at his house at 3 o'clock sharp, and we'd all ride together.
Well, imagine turning a car like this into the junk pile. Why, the motor is in wonderful condition.
Wonderful condition!
Yes!
I lifted up the hood yesterday and the spark plugs were playing Ring Around the Fan Belt.
That's a lie because I'm wearing the fan belt. You know, fellas, I realize I should give my car to the salvage drive, but gee, you can't blame a guy for feeling blue and all choked up.
Did the laundry shrink your collar?
No! Pay attention, I'm sentimental. Take it easy, Rochester. No use getting another speeding ticket for speeding.
Holy smokes, Jack, you mean to say you got a ticket for speeding in this car?
That's right, Mr. Harris. Our bumper got hooked onto a fire truck.
Well, I don't care how it happened. It was going like the wind. Now watch what you're doing, Rochester, and grab hold of the steering wheel.
Well, I'll catch it next time it comes by.
Yeah, well, you better. Imagine, after all these years, parting with my little Maxwell.
Oh boy! Will you look at that gorgeous blonde standing on the corner there?
Where, who, what, where? Oh, I see her.
Jack, put down that telescope.
But I know the girl. It's Shirley Truebucks. Hello, Shirley. Remember me?
Jeepers, yes!
Turn here, Rochester. That junkyard is down on Western Avenue. Well, it ought to be around here somewhere.
There's the sign, Jack, official automobile graveyard.
Oh, yeah. Turn in here, Rochester.
Okay, boss.
And watch that curve.
Easy does it.
Well, that's it, fellas. That was our last trip. Our last ride in the Maxwell.
Well, I'll buy the drinks.
Never mind. Hello?
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm Jack Benny. Are you the head man of this junkyard?
I'm not wearing this carnation in my overalls for nothing.
Yes. I've got a car here I'd like to turn in for the salvage drive. This is it right here.
Well, we do need junk, but aren't you overdoing it, old man?
Look, buddy, scrap is scrap. How much am I offered?
The rate we're paying here is $7 a ton, so I can give you about $7.50.
$7.50? Wait a minute, mister. I've got a lot of extras on this car. There's the radio and the fog lights, the cigarette lighter.
What cigarette lighter?
Right here.
That's a candle.
Well, if you can't light a cigarette with a candle, brother, you ought to give up smoking. How much am I offered?
It's still $7.50.
Oh.
Now you can have cash, but if you'd like, I'll pay you in war stamps.
Yeah, I'll take the war stamps.
Yes, sir. Would you like a wet sponge, or you have strength enough to lick 'em?
Just give me the stamps. I'll handle it. Now, that's that.
Come on, Jack, let's get going.
Yep. Gotta get going, I guess. Yes, sir.
Come on, Jack. Let's get out of here.
Yep. Gotta leave my little Maxie. Oh, well, it's for a good cause.
So what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, Rochester.
I'm coming, boss. I'm coming.
Oh, stop your bawling or you'll have me doing it too. Come on, let's get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is several hours later, and Jack has returned to his home in Beverly Hills. And as we pick him up now, it's about midnight.
5 years. 5 years I've had that little Maxwell, and now it's gone forever. Well, I might as well turn in, I guess. Get my pajamas out, Rochester.
Why, put a nightshirt out there in the bed, boss.
Well, I don't want a nightshirt. I've been getting cold lately, and a nightshirt creeps up on me.
Oh, this one won't do any creeping. I put stirrups on it.
Oh, good. I don't think I'll bother creaming my face tonight. No, I'm too tired. My complexion is all right.
But I got new stuff at the drugstore. Benny's Buffered Beauty Bar.
What's that?
Well, it says here, put it on and take off a few of those facial wrinkles off your face or shoes.
Just put it on my shoes tonight. I'm all in. Here, hang up my pants and undershirt. Hello, Mrs. Billingsley.
Good evening, Mr. Benny. Fix for your physical, I see.
No, I'm just getting ready for bed. I've been very restless lately.
Well, in that case, you must try one of my new sleeping pills. Here you are.
But, Mrs. Billingsley, this isn't a sleeping pill, it's a baseball bat.
Well, if that doesn't do the trick, you ought to see a doctor.
Thanks anyway.
Don't mention it. Good night, Mr. Benny.
Good night.
Oh, I haven't seen him in years.
She's a strange lady. Boy, am I all in.
Here are your things, boss. Brace yourself.
Rochester, put down that baseball bat. You're as bad as she is. Gosh, this bed feels real good. Oh, I don't know how I can sleep with my Maxwell all busted up in that junkyard.
Well, look at it this way. Before you know it, the scrap in your car gonna be a battleship or a tank or an airplane. Well, I'll tell you, boss, if everybody in the country turned in their old junky cars and gathered up all the scrap they could, there wouldn't be no shortage of nothing, especially victory.
You're right, Rochester. Absolutely right. Oh, good night.
Good night, Mr. Benny. If your hot water bottle springs a leak, just put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, I will. Well, no wonder I'm tired. Gee, I practically helped Henry Kaiser build a ship today. Well, just think. Little Maxie's gonna be a ship. Or a tank. Or maybe an aeroplane. $7 a ton.
Calling Bombardier Benny. Calling Bombardier Benny. Report to commanding officer immediately.
Bombardier Benny? Gee, that's me. I'm a bombardier.
Calling Bombardier Benny.
Coming, sir. Bombardier Benny, reporting. Did you call me, sir?
Yes, what kept you?
I was creaming my face. What's up, sir?
There's a bomber waiting outside and you're assigned to the crew. Your destination is Tokyo.
Tokyo?
Yes, are you ready?
Well, I'm sure I am, Colonel Griffith. All set to travel.
Good, you'll find your bomber on the north runway. The pilot is warming up the plane now.
Wait a minute. I forgot my radio, my fog light, my cigarette lighter.
Use a candle.
A candle?
Yes, if you can't light a cigarette with a candle, you ought to take off that fan belt.
The Colonel's in a happy mood today. Oh boy, Tokyo! I'm gonna blow that joint to smithereens, or my name ain't Bombardier Benny. Look at all which one is mine.
Your plane is coming right up.
Well, I'll be. It's my Maxwell, only it's got wings on it. Maxie, speak to me. Oh, it knows me. Gee, it's nice up here. How high up are we, Rochester?
10,000 feet!
Oh, good. At $7 a ton, well, that's a fortune. We're off to Tokyo.
We sure are!
Oh, there's a red light up ahead. Slow down, Rochester.
That's the sun!
Well, it just turned green. Step on it. Look at that water down there. Is that the Pacific Ocean, Navigator?
It sure is, Jackson.
Phil Harris! Are you the Navigator, Phil?
I ain't wearing this carnation in my nose for nothing.
Oh, yes. Where are we, Phil?
Well, according to the calculations I just computed on my Mercuricord charts, we have proceeded to be at longitude 42, latitude 51, and a wind velocity of $7 a ton.
What does that mean? Where are we?
St. Joe, Missouri. They love me there.
Come on, we've got to get to Tokyo. Gee, I hope we've got enough bombs with us.
Cigars, cigarettes, bombs. You can't have any fun over Tokyo without a bomb.
Well, I'll take a few of those, miss.
Do you want a wet sponge with them, or can you drop them yourself?
Yourself? Oh, I haven't seen her in years. What's the matter, Rochester?
Well, we're running into bad weather, boss! Look at that cloud up ahead!
Where? Oh, why, I know that cloud. It's Don Wilson.
Hello, Jack. Where are you going?
Tokyo.
Good. I rained all over it last night.
You want to come along with us, Don?
Well, I'd love to, but I gotta float back to America now and tell everybody about America's fastest growing cereal. Those toasty brown, sweet as a nut.
Great nuts, flakes. There you go again. The grain.
Now, come on, Harris. You're the navigator. Which way to Tokyo?
I have to fix my position by radio.
Go ahead.
This is Tokyo Rose speaking. We find Sally Yamamoto waiting for the return of her husband, Tojo.
Well, that's the Japanese radio. Oh, we must be on the beam, all right. We've got to get ready. Where's our machine gunner, Shirley Truebucks?
Here I am, Mr. Benny.
Good. Well, we're on our way, fellas. It won't be long now. Hey, look out back of you. It's Jimmy Doolittle.
Oh, yeah.
Hiya, Jimmy.
Hiya, Jack.
Good old Doolittle. Follow him, Rochester. He knows where Tokyo is. Gee, it ought to be around here someplace.
Look, Mr. Benny, there's a big island down below us.
And that city in there in the middle of it is Tokyo.
Tokyo! Now get set, Harris. We're going into a dive.
I wouldn't drink with those lousy lices.
No, I don't mean that. We're gonna give them the works. Come on, men, let's start dropping these bombs. Oh yes, Rochester. I just had the most wonderful dream. I dreamt I was bombing Tokyo.
Tokyo? Did you blow it all up?
Not quite.
Well, then I'll stir you up a Welsh rarebit. Let's finish the job.
Well, that's an idea. What a dream.
Why, as a homemaker, you help sustain the health and stamina of the home front. And to help you in that job, our government's National Nutrition Program tells you how to plan menus wisely to get each day plenty of the essential foods which promote health and vitality. Now that includes whole grain cereals such as delicious toasty brown Great Nuts Flakes. For Great Nuts Flakes are a whole grain cereal, so they supply important whole grain food values such as iron, niacin, and vitamin B1. Food values which every one of us need every day to keep ourselves in robust good health. Yes, Great Nut Flakes and breakfast will give you a mighty good start on your daily normal routine. So for a grand, nutritious breakfast taste that's chock full of delicious flavor, make it malty rich, sweet as a nut Great Nuts Flakes tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Well, all kidding aside, ladies and gentlemen, automobile scrap must furnish 5 million of the 30 million tons of steel scrap needed to maintain steel production at its current rate. So sell your old jalopy to an automobile graveyard and help keep the steel mills rolling. I want to thank Colonel Griffith and Colonel Grill for their friendly cooperation here at Williams Field. It was a real pleasure to dedicate this new theater here at the Post.
Fine building, but no powder room.
Well, it is for the soldiers. We'll be right back.
The Jack Benny program was for the entertainment of Army personnel and does not necessarily constitute an endorsement of its products by the War Department.
Came to you from Williams Field in Arizona. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Down near Sandy's Bay, I met a cowboy riding the range one day, and as he jogged along, I heard him singing a most peculiar cowboy song. It was a ditty in the city, coming to ya, ya, yeah, coming to ya, ya, yeah. Get along, get hip, little doggy, get along. You better be on your way. Get along, get hip, little doggy, as he trucked him on down the old fairway, singing his cow boogie in the strangest way. Coming to ya, ya, yeah, coming to ya, yeah. Singing his cowboy song, just too much. He's got to rock that western accent with a Harlem touch. He was raised on no weed. He's what you call a swing half-breed, singing his cow boogie in the strangest way. Coming to ya, ya, yeah, coming to ya, ya, yeah. Take it, Daddy. have Jim Knapp helping out the next sponsor of our next show, Lucky Cigarettes.
Now I'm a fellow with a heart of gold and the ways of a gentleman, I've been told. Kind of a fellow that wouldn't even harm a flea. But if me and a certain character met, guy that invented that cigarette, I'd murder that son of a bitch in the first degree. Now it ain't because I don't smoke myself, no. I don't reckon they hinder your health. I've smoked them all my life and I ain't dead yet. But your nicotine slaves are all the same at a petting party or a poker game. Everything gonna stop while they have that cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Smoke yourself to death. Tell St. Peter and the Holy Haven that you hate to make him wait, but you just gotta have another cigarette. The other night I had a date. Cutest little girl in the 48th state. She was a high-bred, uptown, fancy little dame. She was an oh so far from a chunk of ice, and our smooching party was going real nice. I so held my hand, I think I'd have been there yet. But I give her a kiss, a little squeeze. She said, well, Jim, excuse me please, but right now I've gotta have another cigarette. Oh, smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Fuck yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Holy Gate that you hate to make him wait. You gotta have another cigarette. In a game of chance the other night, old Big Fortune was doing me right. Kings and the queens, they just kept on coming around. Now I've got a full, I bet up high, but my bluff didn't work on a certain guy. No, he just kept on raising and laying his money down. Now he'd raise me and I'd raise him. I sweated blood, got to sink or swim. He finally called and didn't raise the bet. I said, ace is full, pal, how about you? He said, well, Jim, I'll tell you in a minute or two, but right now I've got to have another cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Fuck yourself to death. Tell St. Peter at the Holy Gate that you hate to make him wait. You gotta have another cigarette.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, I've got some really hard trivia. Here's a really hard question. What was the actual relationship between Jack Benny and Mary Livingston?
They were married.
Yes, they were married. They were married. I'm a terrible pro. You'll hear more about that. Okay, well, thank you, Cheryl. They get a prize. They get a prize. They were married, and did you know? And here's a little bit of something I just found out. After he died, Jack Benny had made an arrangement to have a single rose delivered to Mary Livingston every day, and that continued until her death. Isn't that a wonderful thing? It's inspiring, isn't it, gals? I think we ought to all look at the gals and say, what a really good. Where was Jack Benny born?
Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois, and he was raised in Waukegan, but he was actually born in Chicago. I just found that out too. Great. Okay. I heard Illinois. Okay, see, you can find Illinois. Yeah. Okay. Here's a sort of an interesting one, I thought, historically. When the Jack Benny show traveled to a different city to do a show somewhere, a different location, and they checked into a hotel, what was the problem they ran into? Yes, what was the problem with Rochester? It was an African American, and in hotels in that time that had white people stay there would not allow African Americans to stay. Usually, yes, you get some really wonderful prize here. Thank you. I got so excited I forgot the prizes. Well, that was a difficult situation. I mean, actually, I did discover that once in New York, and Rochester was allowed to stay in the hotel with the rest of the cast and crew. He was staying in the same hotel. A Southern couple complained to the desk. And so Jack Benny's manager told the hotel clerk that Rochester would be gone in the morning. And the entire cast and crew of the Jack Benny program checked out. 44 people checked out the next morning. Okay, here's one you may not know. How many stars does Jack Benny have on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
39.
39. Great guess. Anybody know? Three. Yes. I gotta tell you, I was the last person chosen for any team. I was the person still standing there. They say, "Oh no, somebody has to take her." That was because I just can't do that stuff. And I don't have to try anymore. It's so nice. Yes, he has 3 stars, 1 for radio, 1 for film, and 1 for TV. What famous radio comedian did Jack Benny have a feud with? Does anybody know?
Fred Allen.
Fred Allen, yes, way back there. Yes, sure. Yes, where's Fred Allen? Was it a real feud? No, it wasn't. I don't have enough cigarettes for that. I only have one more. Okay. Here's an interesting tidbit. Does anybody know if Jack Benny finished high school? No, he did not finish high school. He was expelled. So it gives us all hope, doesn't it? Yes. A couple of other little things, just so you know. Rochester's real name was Eddie Anderson, which I just discovered. Dennis Day's real name was Owen Patrick Eugene McNulty. Okay, one more. Okay. Who was Benjamin Kubelski?
Jack Benny.
Yes! You guys are terrific. You're just terrific. Yes.
On the scrap iron thing in 1942-43, I was wondering if I could donate my scrap iron Toyota and Honda.
Yes, okay, we'll come pick it up in the morning. Yes. Just be sure we have your address and your contact information.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
Hello, this is CBS, the Star's address. May I help you?
Yes, operator. With a change of time from daylight back to standard, could you tell me what program is on at 4 o'clock?
Just a minute. Say, Mabel, what program's on today at 4 o'clock?
I don't know, Gertrude. I'll look it up in this radio guide.
Hold it, Mabel, hold it.
Huh?
Look whose picture's on page 8.
Well, take my glove off and die with my naked finger if it ain't Jack Benny. He's not only handsome, but look at that strong chin. What character.
Some character. One night last week, he drove me up to Mulholland Drive, pulled over to a lonely spot, turned off the ignition and said, "Well, what do you know? I'm out of gas."
No.
Yeah, so I said I'd be very happy
embarrassed him?
Embarrassed him nothing. He siphoned a gallon out of his tank and sold it to me. Now, Mabel, you can't stay mad at a guy like Jack Benny. Just look at that picture. The way he's standing there so casual and nonchalant with his coat thrown over his arm.
Yeah, just look at those muscles.
Muscles? Where?
Well, on the floor, they fell out of his sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Yes?
Operator, this is Jack Benny.
Gertrude, what's the matter?
He's waiting for applause.
I'm not waiting for applause. I'm in my dressing room. Now, operator, with the change of time today, I'd like to check my watch. What time is it, please?
It's 20 minutes to 4.
20 minutes to 4? Well, that's funny. I've got 20 minutes to 3.
Hold on. Mabel, what time have you got?
20 minutes to 5.
No, honey. You moved your watch ahead an hour, and you're supposed to move it back. Gee, are you dumb?
Well, it's not as dumb as Jack Benny. He didn't move it at all.
How could he? His muscles fell out of his sleeve.
Operator, I heard that, and I'm going to report you. Huh. That Gertrude thinks she's smart. That's the last time I give her Ethel for the price of regular. Now, let's see. Where did I put my, so you finally got here.
Hello, boss!
Rochester, you know I'm always nervous before doing a program. Why do you have to be late?
Late? I got 20 minutes to 2.
Well, no wonder. Our watches are all mixed up, and it's your fault.
My fault?
Yeah. What were you supposed to do at 2 o'clock this morning?
What I always do, tiptoe into your room and put a hot water bottle on your feet.
Was that all you did?
Well, I must confess, boss, I tickled your toes a little.
Was that you?
Yeah, when I saw the way you had your arms around that pillow, I figured you were expecting something.
Rochester, I always sleep with my arms around a pillow.
Well, I know, but last night you looked at it and said, "Don't you think 2 can live as cheap as 1?"
Gee, I do the silliest things in my sleep. I can understand putting my arms around a pillow, but talking to it? Rochester, why didn't you wake me up?
Well, I hated to cut in, boss. You were dancing.
Rochester, I'm going down the hall to Miss Livingston's dressing room. I'll see you later. Gee, but it's great after staying out late, walking my pillow back home. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Mary, are you in there?
Just a minute, Jack. I'm not dressed yet. Oh, Pauline?
Yes, Miss Livingston?
Oh, Mr. Benny wants to come in. Help me into my dress, please.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Livingston, how long has he been on your program?
Well, Pauline, it isn't my program, it's Mr. Benny's. Mr. Benny's the star. I just work for him, and he pays me a very nice salary. Not as much as I pay you, but a very nice salary. Pauline, how does my dress look?
Well, it looks all right, Miss Livingston. But if I were you, I'd wear it a little shorter. You have such good legs.
Oh, well, thanks, Pauline.
It's too bad you only have 2 of them.
What?
Well, what I mean is, when you've got something nice, it's too bad you can't have more of it.
Well, believe me, Pauline, every girl who has nice legs is perfectly satisfied with just 2 of them. After all, look at a girl with 3 legs.
Everybody.
Mary, how about it?
Just a minute.
I don't know why it takes women so long to get dressed. Men don't take that long. Rochester throws me together in 5 minutes. Sometimes quicker.
Oh, Jack.
Bob, I thought you were on stage rehearsing the band.
Well, I stood it just as long as I could.
What do you mean?
Well, Jack, when I agreed to take over the orchestra that you always had, I didn't know what I was getting into.
What?
These guys are driving me nuts.
Why? Why? What's wrong?
Well, look, in the first place, I'm stuck with an electric guitar player whose nose lights up.
I know.
Yeah, but there's a trombone player who's chained to the guy sitting next to him.
Look, Bob.
And a drummer with a candle on his head because it's his birthday.
Bob, I think...
And a drummer with a candle on his head because it's birthday. And I'm going to mention the accordion player who cracks peanuts in the pleats.
Yeah. Well, Bob, just have patience. I'm sure that...
Oh, Mr. Benny!
What is it, Dennis?
Don Wilson is looking all over for you. You should have started the program 15 minutes ago.
15 minutes ago? I've got a 3:15.
I've got a 4:15.
Dennis, what does your watch say?
Boulevard?
I don't mean that. No, anyway, kids, if we're 15 minutes late, we'd better get out on the stage.
Jack, where have you been? Hurry.
Look, Don, this is not my fault.
But the program.
Don, daylight savings time got me mixed up. We still have plenty of time to do the sketch, so just take it easy. While I'm handing out the scripts, Dennis...
4:15.
I know that. Do your song.
Okay. Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please. Don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the mountains run. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences and gaze at the moon until I lose my senses. I can't look at hovels and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in.
That was Dennis Day singing Don't Fence Me In.
Jack, which sketch are we going to do?
We're going to do a satire on that wonderful picture, High Noon, which starred Gary Cooper. I am going to play the leading role.
You don't even know what time it is.
Oh, quiet. Don, turn to page 12 and introduce our play.
Okay, Jack.
Bob, is the orchestra ready?
Well, some of the guys are sitting up.
Good. Take it, Don.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction of the evening, we're going to present our version of that epic of the West, the Stanley Kramer production of High Noon. The year is 1875. The place, the little town of Hadleyville. The scene is in the office of the Justice of the Peace.
I'm the town marshal, and my name is Gary Kane. This is my wedding day. Yep, right this moment I'm a-getting married to my sweetheart, Amy.
Wait for the orchestra.
Not forsake me, oh my darling, on this our wedding day. Do not forsake me, oh my darling. Do you, Amy, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Do you, Gary, take Amy for your lawful wedded wife?
Yep.
Now repeat after me, Amy. I, Amy, take thee, Gary, to love, honor, and cherish.
I, Amy, take thee, Gary, to love, honor, and cherish.
Now you, Gary. I, Gary, take thee, Amy, to love, honor, and cherish.
I, Gary, take thee, Amy, to love, honor, and cherish.
And with all my worldly goods I thee endow.
And with...
Come on, say it. And with all my worldly goods I thee endow.
I, Gary, take thee, Amy, to love, honor, and cherish.
Justice, I even had to buy the ring.
I now pronounce you man and wife.
Gary, my husband!
Amy, my bride, kiss me.
It's customary for the justice of the peace to get the first kiss.
Stand aside, Amy. The man wants to kiss me.
I mean her.
Come on, Amy. Let's get it going on our honeymoon.
Gee, Gary, I'm so glad you're gonna give up your job as marshal and put those awful guns away.
Yes, Amy. Now we can have a peaceful life.
Marshal!
Yeah? What's up?
Terrible news! Frank Miller's been released from jail.
No.
Yeah, and he's arriving in town at high noon.
High noon?
Yes, high noon, and 3 of his henchmen are waiting at the railroad station to meet him.
Well, where are my guns? Oh, and I better swear in some deputies. I gotta get Frank Miller before he gets me.
Gary, tell me, what's this all about?
Amy, 5 years ago, I arrested Frank Miller and sent him to jail. He vowed he'd kill me when he got out. Well, I've got to get him first.
But Gary, you may be killed. I don't want to become a widow on our wedding day. I want to go on a honeymoon.
Look, Amy, I can't run away. You wouldn't want to be married to a coward, would you?
Oh, I'd do anything to get out of the May Company.
It was then I realized that Amy, spelled sideways, was May. But I had my duty to perform, even if it meant losing Amy. I went outside and walked the hot, dusty, deserted streets, looking in vain for men to serve as deputies.
For to be torn with rich love and weary, supposing I lose my fair haired beauty. Look at that big hand move along here in high noon. He made a vow while in state prison, vowed to be my life for his.
I went everywhere looking for deputies. I went to their homes and the general store. I went to the town saloon. In fact, we had a scene in the saloon, but we cut it because Phil Harris is on another network. Finally, I went looking for desperate Dennis McNulty, a man who had been my assistant. Suddenly, I saw him. He came riding toward me.
Whoa! Whoa, easy now, easy! Easy, old paint!
I never had the heart to tell him. He rode that cow everywhere. In fact, he was the man that originated the white line down the middle of the street. He dismounted and said,
Hi, Gary, congratulations! I hear you just got married.
That's right, I did.
Who'd you marry? The school teacher?
No, why?
Well, they always do in westerns.
Look, I haven't time to talk about that. I'm in trouble, Frank. I'm in trouble. Frank Miller's coming back to town to kill me. I need help. Also a rehearsal.
You sure do. It sure
You will? You mean you're not afraid?
Of course not. When I see Frank Miller, I'll sneak up behind him.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll stick my gun in his back and say, feet up.
Oh, you mean hands up?
No, feet up. Pat him on the popo.
What?
Let's hear him laugh.
As I left him, he turned the cow over on its back and was milking it. Looked like the fountain at Wilshire in Santa Monica. I kept walking on through the town, looking for help. The streets were deserted. It was getting close to high noon, and I had to find somebody to deputize. So I just kept walking. Walking. Walking.
Think it's time for our commercial. This sketch may take all day. We want to sing about those luckies. Those good old luckies. By tasting luckies. 'Cause Lucky Strike's our favorite brand. Everyone's tearing and comparing. Everyone's standing around and staring. Look at that big hand move along near in high noon. Luckies are so much better tasting. Give him another time to waste him. He's not afraid of death, but oh, what will he do without Luckies? No truer words were ever spoken. We heard them from our ma and pa's. Remember when those guns start smoking? Be sure it's Luckies, those good old Luckies, so free and easy on the draw. LSM, LFT, LSM, LFT.
Time was running short, and still I could find no one to help me. I was a marked man. No one would even come near me. This was before the days of chlorophyll. I didn't know what to do. In my search for help, I wandered down to the Mexican Quarter. I came upon a group of people who were having a fiesta. Needing a deputy badly, I approached one of the men and said, "Pardon me, senor, but do you know who I am?
Si.
You know there's a man out to kill me?
Si.
Would you be willing to help me?
Si.
What's your name?
Sai.
Sai?
Si.
Now you, senorita, are you his sister? Is it all right for your brother to help me? What's your name?
Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Hernandez Gonzalez going to the Prado Ramona Rosita Ramirez.
Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Hernandez Gonzalez Clarita Del Prado Ramona Rosita Ramirez? But that name is too long. What can I call you?
Sue?
Sue?
Si.
But I was talking to her, wasn't I? What do you do for a living? So? Oh, now cut that out. I appreciated her offer to help, but I couldn't take a chance on Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Hernandez Gonzalez Clarita Del Prado Ramona Rosita Ramirez getting killed. It would drive the tombstone maker nuts. Now I had to make up my mind. I wasn't going to wait for Miller to come looking for me. I decided to go down to the railroad station and wait for him.
He met a vow while in state prison. Vowed to leave my life for his. I'm not afraid of death, but oh, what will I do if you leave
station. Frank Miller's train was due to arrive at high noon. There was only a few minutes to wait. I went inside.
Train now loading on track 5 for Anaheim. Who's saying, "Ooh, come on,
I was alone in the station, except for one cowboy. Thinking I could make him a deputy, I went over to talk to him. What's your name, partner?
Tex Crosby?
Tex, huh? Then you were born in Texas.
Well, I was born in Louisiana, but ain't nobody gonna call me Louise.
That's an old joke.
Well, it was new in 1875.
Yes. What are you doing here anyway, Tex?
Well, I'm a-waiting for Frank Miller to arrive. We're gonna kill the town marshal.
Oh, you are, huh? Well, I'm the town marshal, and I'm gonna kill you.
Train now leaving on track 5 for Anaheim. Who's saying, "Cool"?
I'll give you a fighting chance. When I count 3, draw and shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Among Us!
I got you, Tex. As he laid there, he reminded me of his brother. He was a groaner too. Now I had gotten rid of one of the killers. The high noon train pulled into the station. It came to a stop. Frank Miller got off the very last car, where he was met by his 2 remaining henchmen. This was my date with destiny. There fell a lonely silence as I walked toward the 3 men who wanted to kill me. Alone in the blazing noonday sun, my hands on my guns as slowly I kept a-going toward them. My clumsy sound man got up and I continued walking. My hand was sweating. My throat was dry. I knew that within 1 minute, either they or I would be dead. As soon as I got within pistol range, I drew my gun and fired. Yep, I killed all 3 of them without giving them a chance to talk. This wasn't the way it was done in the picture, but I know how to save money on actors. I was safe now. My only problem now was whether to ask my wife to come back to me or go looking for Conchita, Guadalupe, Lolita, Hernandez, Gonzalez, Clarita, Del Prado, Ramona, Rosita, Ramirez. But regardless of the mix-up in daylight saving time, I and the whole town knew it was high noon. Good night, folks.